All right, everybody, welcome to class. We're going to be talking about combining like terms using the distributive property. A good place to start whenever you're taking notes is read the title of the notes, right? I mean, the title says combining like terms. Do we know what that is? Yes, it says distributive property. Do we know what that is? Is there any new vocab that's scaring us? No, right? There's nothing on here that tells me, you know, I got something to worry about or something that I can't handle, okay? So what we're going to do is read the very first, the only words on the whole page, and this is basically all that we need to learn today, all right? We already know how to do every single thing. If you have a question, this is the answer. Distribute first. If you're something like, Mr. Collier, there's something new today, I don't know what to do, the answer is distribute first. That's it. Okay? If we look at this nice little example that's up here in the corner, I see that there is parentheses, which tell me that I need to distribute, but there's also a plus 2x tagged on at the end. So if we've got the distributing and the plus 2x, which one do we do first? Distribute first, right? The reason that we distribute first is our good old friend PEMDAS. Do we remember PEMDAS? We heard of PEMDAS? Yeah, so PEMDAS just tells us that parentheses, exponents, and multiplying all has to come first. And so when it comes to distributing, guess what? Welcome back. Perfect. Distributing comes first. That is why, in this example, this person distributed those 3's onto the x and the 3. The only other thing I want to mention before we get started here, why did they not draw an arrow from the 3 all the way to the 2?
It is in the parentheses.
Good point, okay? The only thing that we draw arrows to is the things within the parentheses. So the 3 needs to be delivered to the x, the 3 needs to be delivered to the 3, the 3 does not connect with the 2x, right? It's not in the parentheses, no arrow. Now, as we check out this example, we did a distributing. What's 3 times x? 3x. What's 3 times 3? 9. On this second line here, we have 3 terms, and now what's happened is we've circled these terms because these terms are like terms, and we're going to need to combine them. So basically what's going on here is we have 2-step questions. Step 1 is distributive, and step 2 is combining like terms. Every single question you do for the entire day, you will distribute, and then you will combine like terms. Let's do number 1. Do we see any distributing that needs to happen?
Yes.
What do we need to distribute?
3.
The 3. I agree 100%. And remember, distributing goes first every time. Now, how many arrows do I need to draw total?
2.
1, 2, just 2, right? Only 2 arrows. This does not get an arrow because it is not in the parentheses, so let's ignore it for now. Okay, I'm going to use my hand. I'm just going to cover it up. Does anybody know 3 times x?
3x.
Perfect, love that. Does anybody know 3 times 5?
15.
15. Again, use Desmos if you need to. Let's put a plus in between there, spread it out. Now, if this was on the warm-up, this would be the whole question. We would be done, right? Easy peasy, question's over. But we're not done yet. We have the tag along minus 2x. We do not distribute the 3 to the 2x,
Bring it down.
but 100% you are correct. We need to bring it down. One thing that I'll say, it would be a really silly mistake if you brought down negative 2x and you forgot to write the x, right? If your only job is to just bring a number 1 inch lower, like, don't mess it up. Just write it down 1 inch lower and get it right, okay? Now, like I said at the top of the paper, we're going to distribute first and combine like terms second. And so now we're looking at three terms, A, B, C. Which ones are going to combine together?
3x, wait, 3x negative 2x.
Exactly. We're going to have these two terms combine together.
Get 1x.
Now, I'm sure we can do this in our head, but just because we haven't used Desmos yet, this lesson 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. And so we have 1x. Is that the answer? 1x?
Plus 15.
Nice. We are really sharp today. Well done. Plus 15. And that is going to be our final answer. Like I was saying, we should be totally out of options when we're at the end. Is there anything we can do here? Can we squeeze these together? No. We are done. That is it. That is the answer. All right. Now, number 2. I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to go around number 2. I got it, Miss Eason. Sorry. I'm going to go around this question. Welcome back. And if I have highlighted this question, that's probably telling you that this is an important question. Okay? For question number 2, this is a killer question when it comes to Algebra 1. All right? And the reason is, students see 7 plus 4. Are we going to do 7 plus 4?
No.
Why not?
You start with the number outside.
You're both correct. Are we going to do 7 plus 4? No, because distribute first. Distribute first. 7 plus 4, they look like terms. That's a lot of likes in one sentence. They look like they are like terms, and they are like terms, but this 4 has all this baggage, and this 4 needs to sort out all of this baggage before it can be combined with a simple old boring 7. So do not combine these together or you will be wrong from the very first step. What do we need to do first? There's only one thing. Distribute first. That is always the answer for the whole day. So if we're going to distribute first, we're going to draw arrows from that 4. Welcome back. Make sure that you're keeping up. Make sure that your paper is looking like mine. Make sure you're drawing the arrows that look like mine. Again, this is a question that is in a box that says important, so you might want to take it super serious. What is, ignoring the 7, what is 4 times 3x? I like that answer. You're 100% correct. Pen's getting a little funky there. 12, there we go. Still ignoring the 7, what is 4 times negative 5?
Negative 20.
Negative 20.
100% correct. Nice job. Everybody that I heard it from did it perfect. Negative 20. And so now, if this was a warm-up question, we're done, right? Distribute, perfect, got it, easy. But we have that tag-along extra number. There it is. We have a 7. I remember you guys saying it for the last question. Bring that 7 down. Is there anything else we need to do here? I think we need to put a plus in here to keep our terms separated out, okay, to keep us nice and organized. At this point, what are we going to do?
Combine.
Of course, combine like terms. Which of them are like terms? You're correct, 7 and negative. I had a lot of people in my first period class, and this is Monday at 9 a.m., guys, so give them a break. A lot of them were doing this. They said, Mr. Collier, these answers are all wrong. And I was like, I don't think it's the answer, buddy. Does the 7 combine with the 12? No, of course not. So, you guys were correct. I'm happy to see. Maybe we're a little bit more paying attention than first period was. Maybe we're just having a better day. Maybe we had a good lunch already. The 7 does not combine with the 12. The 7 combines with the negative 20. What is 7 and negative 20? Let's check. You're correct. 7 minus 20 is negative 13. And that's the answer? Not quite. What are we missing from our answer? We're going to need that plus 12x. If we can handle number 2, if we can see number 2 and just think, you know what? Distribute first, do a little combining, no stress, then honestly, like, you got it, okay? Again, number 2, I got it in a big yellow box telling you this is an important question. If you can handle this, you're in good shape, okay? Number 3 is a lot like number 2. It's still a little scary, and it's maybe just a tad bit scarier because of this negative sign. So let me ask you this question. Does this negative sign make the 8 negative, or does it make the 2 negative?
2.
Right. This negative has nothing to do with the 8. Okay? I see a lot of students who see this and they think that that means negative 8. That's not how math works. A negative sign has to be in front of the number. So, this is a positive 8. Would you guys agree with me on that? Cool. And this is a negative 2. Would you guys agree with me on that? So when we go to distribute, what are we going to distribute? A negative 2. And we need to make sure that we distribute the negative and not just the 2. All right, we're distributing the negative. We're going to ignore the 8, but we are going to focus on the negative. Negative 2 times negative 6, Desmos tells me positive 12. So, positive 12x. I told you guys it's normally the second term. So what do you think the second term is going to be here? What do we think? We've already handled this. We've already handled the 6x. How do we multiply negative 2 times positive 9?
Negative 18.
You're correct. Nice job. Negative 18 is the correct distributing solution. But this question is not done yet because we still have an 8 left over. Is that a positive 8 or a negative 8? It's a positive 8. So when we bring it down, we're going to be bringing down a positive 8. Now it's time to combine. Which are the ones that combine together? Of course, it's the 8 and the negative 18. You guys have been so good at that the whole year. When we combine these together,
Negative 10.
you're correct. That is going to be negative 10.
Plus 12x.
And I like that as well. Plus 12x. All right, little bit of a tip here. If you look at my paper and you zoom out and you check out the whole thing, do you notice the pattern? Do you see how all the questions are following the same flow, the same pattern? But most importantly, do you notice that my handwriting and my organizing looks the same? I've got the arrows doing the same thing. I've got the arrows bringing it down, bringing it down, bringing it down. Okay? If you are thinking, man, I'm a B student and I wish I was an A student, but I really don't want to study. Guess what you could probably do to bring your grade up? Just be a little bit neater. Write your handwriting a little bit better. Organize yourself a little bit better. You want every question to be as best as you can mimic, right? It's a mirror image. It's all working the same. Number 4 and 5 are going to introduce something a little bit different. What's going on with number 4 and 5? Dang, I heard sheesh. Yep, we got multiple parenthesis sets. I see that I've got parenthesis, parenthesis, and I also see parenthesis, parenthesis. Now, is this really going to be that much harder?
No.
I mean, I'm going to have to distribute a number, but distributing a number is something that we have been so good at, and I just got to do it like multiplying by 2. Is that really that much harder? Like, we can do this, okay? I'm going to think about one at a time, because it's not all one big process. It's like a little distribute on the left and a little distribute on the right. It doesn't have to be one big thing. So I'm going to look on the left. I'm going to do a little distributing. And what would my left fully distributed 2 terms be? Anybody got both of them?
4x minus 20.
4x minus 20. That answer is going to do it for me. I think that's pretty good. I like that we have the minus. I think it's perfect. Okay? Now let's check out the right side. Boom. Make sure you check for this sign in the middle. Okay? If it's a negative, I don't want to forget that negative and blow the whole question. It's a positive 2 though. That should not give me very much problems at all. Does anybody have the right side distribution part? 6x plus 12. I think that's excellent.
And then you gotta add 4x and 6x.
Correct. Now we've got a lot of pieces. I probably want a little plus in here to connect it all. Keep them all spaced out. Don't want it to look like negative 206x. That's not what I want. And then I heard already, it's time to do some combining like terms. I heard that the 4x combines with the plus 6x. And what's 4 plus 6?
10.
I mean, yeah, that's almost kindergarten math right there. 10x. And I'm going to need to combine some other like terms. I got my negative 20 and my positive 12. Negative 8. If you want full honesty from me, this morning I went to Desmos. I typed negative 20, positive 12, and then I went to my paper and I wrote positive 8. I don't know why, guys. I made a mistake this morning. I messed it up. I don't often make mistakes, especially on this stuff, but I did. I accidentally wrote plus 8. So be careful with these negatives. They're not hard. Just take your time. Read it. Write it. Double check it. I think it looks good. Okay? Especially if you catch yourself making one mistake, you got to be on high lookout now for more mistakes that look similar. All right, question number 5. It's the last one of the whole day. Okay? We got double distribute. This one looks a little spicy because we got a negative 2 and a negative 4 that we need to be distributing. And so we need to get this correct. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply the first term, negative 2 times x, negative 2x. And then we're going to do it. Negative times a negative makes positive 14. All right, somebody else help me out with the first term of the second part. What do you got?
Negative 12.
Nice catch. Genius. Negative 12. X or no X? We're going X on that one. And the final term, one last person. What about negative 4 plus, or negative 4 times positive 1? Negative 4. Love it. We're pretty much done. We need to combine some like terms. We need to identify some like terms, and it's never been easier than this. Circle our X terms, draw our arrows. Our notes are looking fantastic. The X terms, negative 2, negative 12. Type that in. Negative 2, negative 12. Desmos says negative 14x. And we got one last piece. We can do this one in our head. What's 14 minus 4? 10. 10. Muy bien. What's up?
Doesn't a negative and a negative make a positive?
What an excellent question. Doesn't two negatives make a positive? Very, very good question. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the day when I'm talking about how we can have like a multiply brain and then we start doing addition and the multiply brain kind of leaks into the addition. So the rules are two negatives makes a positive only for multiplying. Okay? When you're just combining things together, right? Let's say that you are $10 in debt and let's say that I'm $10 in debt, right? We're both broke. If we combine our debts, we're still broke, right? We're not just going to turn positive all of a sudden for fun, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between adding and multiplying. Those rules only work for, what I would tell you really, I mean, you just go to Desmos and you just let Desmos tell you, because, you know, Desmos, you know, whatever Desmos says is what I do. All right, any last questions on the notes? We're good to go? Distribute it, combine it, easy peasy.